here in the Four Courts in Dublin today, trying to secure the release of Stephen Manning, who has been wrongfully convicted, where he wasn't allowed a defence or allowed any legal representation. I was in the court for the 3 days in Castlebar Courthouse, where Judge Sean O'Donovan so-called presided, and I was appalled at what I seen. The actual attitude and arrogance and complete disregard for the law and due process and fair procedure that judge showed. I believe he was sent up there to do a hatchet job. I know he has big Fianna Fáil political connections. It was them who put him in there, but we have to try and override that because they're out of control, the judges in the district and circuit court. It's just a commercial business for them to make money. So, you know, we in ACT are trying to hold these people to account. What our main objectives are is to try and secure a completely independent body where the people on that body would have the ability to investigate someone who has done wrong. We have in the past sent evidence to the Minister for Justice, the Taoiseach and the President of wrongdoings that we can prove, and there is no investigation. Going to the guards or setting up another commission like GSOC is just a complete waste of time. I believe that, well, the judge, I heard him in Castlebar saying that a thing that Stephen came out with that he wanted an explanation for, and he says it's no good explaining that to you, the people here don't understand. So from that I took it that they don't want us to know, but yet they bring us in front of their courts to answer for wrongs we have done. And like a lot of the wrongs are only made up by them to hold us because we're exposing the corruption. They're trying to hold us either in court or hold us in jail, or keep bringing us to court to try and just to waste our time. But the fact of the matter is, if we're not aware that there's something wrong being done, as he explained in the court, well then we shouldn't be accountable for it. It's just bunkum that they have come up with themselves to try and pin us down. But for the ordinary layperson in the street, we're trying to set up a body that's going to protect them people and protect their rights and their assets. You know, and Stephen Manning was a very outspoken activist against the wrongdoings in the court. And for this, you know, on a public order offence, he has got a prison sentence, the first offence ever in his life. You know, and the man is 50 years old. You know, this is what we are contending with. You know, other people get away to get out for rape, for murder, to get out on bail, to get this and that, and because of technicalities. There's no technicalities in ours. We're not allowed any fair procedure or due process. It's just convict everything you say. In fact, the judge says to Stephen the last day, Mr. Manning, you're rambling on. What you're saying doesn't have any emphasis on the case. Well, I know it was, because I was there on the same charge as Stephen. I got my charge vacated because the judge admitted he was biased, and the two of us was co-defendants. So what they're trying to do now is they have Stephen convicted, and they're set up for bring me back on trial again in October. So the whole system, and this is your money, this is the taxpayers' money, and they are having a field day on it. What to do, I seen a court day there we were at, there was 3 solicitors representing clients, the rest was on their own because of the ways the system is. Nobody has trust, belief or anything in it, and Noreen O'Sullivan is one of the biggest offenders. The ways she takes people for granted, and what she says in the line of, you know, down the line, we all have to take responsibility. That's what they're doing with GSOC and all these tribunals, spreading out the blame, diluting the whole lot, and before you know it, there's no questions to answer. Noreen O'Sullivan has to take responsibility. If she's in control, she's responsible. It's as simple as that. So, you know, join ACT, join anyone in your community that is under pressure from the state, because we all need to work together. One by one together we can make a difference. And thanks.
tonight, and I think it's a very sad day for Ireland. It's a very sad day for women, because Mr. Manning is a married man with a wife and 3 children, one with special needs, and this man has been denied justice in the Circuit Court. He has been framed, he has been sentenced to jail for a crime that he did not commit. And I would call on each and every female TD in Leinster House today, and I would ask them to speak and get the Attorney General to act on this. Is a very serious matter. Last week we were horrified because some member of the Islam got to vote on the Women's Council because our TDs were very concerned because of the way women's human rights are being violated in foreign countries. And here we are outside the Four Courts, where we have a man whose his human rights have been seriously violated by the courts and by the judicial system.
Don't forget to say, Marguerite, that this is actually, it was only a public order charge, which would have in effect been Stephen Manning's first offence had it been a genuine one. We know it's a false one, but he got 2 months in jail for that. I've seen drug dealers caught with thousands of pounds worth of heroin and drugs walk free on. It just doesn't make sense what's going on in this country.
And I think it's a very sad day for his wife, because his wife is not Irish. She's from Japan. Dr. Manning he's a doctor of education, and here is a man who has set up an organisation called Integrity Ireland, and the aims and objectives of his organisation was to expose corruption and to encourage justice in courts. And it's a very sad day. It's a very disgusting day in the High Courts here today, because we just have, again, justice denied. We've had a judge who has just, gone along with an order, status quo, criminal charge. The man has not committed a crime, so why is he in jail? And I would again call on the Minister for Justice. I would call on the Attorney General, because this is a serious matter. And this woman is living in a rural area with 3 young children. She doesn't drive a car, and her husband has been kidnapped and sentenced to jail. We talk about the Birmingham 6, well, we have it right here in the Four Courts in Galway, in Dublin and Castlebar.
It's a mafia-led country, and if we don't stand up very soon, we're all in serious trouble. We're obviously targeting anyone that is talking out and exposing this corruption. Colin was a victim again. Colin's case, in this case, the judge had to recuse himself on the same charges as Stephen Manning, but they're trying to retry him on the same charge again, which we all know is double jeopardy and can't happen. But we've got such a mafia state that they're determined to do it. I have 17 charges ahead of me. We need the backup of people now. We need to get out on the streets. We need to get to these people.